Good morning. So let us continue our discussion from the last class. So we have seen in the last class how the neural networks learns the weight matrix, or how the learned weights of the neural network reflect the class correlation corresponding to different classes that we try to classify, okay, based on the scores, corresponding scores. So now we will see a slightly different interpretation for the same. This is referred to as algebraic interpretation, because what we are trying to see is in vector matrix form. We are trying to see what the matrix lengths, okay, matrix of W lengths. There is other kind of interpretation that is referred to as geometric interpretation. So what we do there is we try to see in some coordinate system where does these different samples are, and how the decision boundaries are, okay, after training a neural network. So usually what do you think happens when we have samples in 2 dimensions? What do we mean by samples in 2 dimensions? We have 2 features. So if we have two x1, x2 features, and we can plot the samples in 2 dimensions, and then we have seen that the decision boundary essentially neural network gives is the separating line between the class 1 and class 2. If it is linear decision boundary, it may give a separating line. If it is non-linear, it may give a curve separating class 1 and class 2 samples. Even if we have 4 features, then it will be the samples. Each sample is a point in 4-dimensional space, feature space, right? Hope you understand this. So, and the what the neural network lens is the separating lines in that 4-dimensional space or in that higher dimensional feature space. Hope I am audible.
Yes.
Am I audible clearly?
Yeah, now it is fine, sir.
Okay, so were you able to hear me before? What I was
Last
about geometric view?
you were not audible.
Okay, fine, good. So what I was saying is the neural network, what it does in terms of the algebraically what it learns, or in the matrix what is learned, is seen in the algebraic viewpoint of the neural network, or understanding the weight matrix. Okay, so what here we are trying to discuss is the geometrically what it does, in the sense that if we see this feature space, see when the feature space is 2-dimensional, when do you think feature space is 2-dimensional? A quick answer is welcome. Yeah, when the feature space is 2-dimensional?
When we have 2 features.
When? Tell little loudly.
When we have 2 features.
That's all. When you have 2 features, okay. When each sample has x1, x2 2 features, the feature space we are considering as it will become 2-dimensional. Okay, so now if we have, say, here 4 features, then the feature space will be 4-dimensional. Okay, and what is the role of classifier in that 4-dimensional space of features? What do you think is the role of classifier? A quick answer is welcome.
Separate various reasons, like
separate these class samples, class 1, class 2, class 3, and different class samples. Okay, so write the separating lines or demarcate the separating planes, hyperplanes, okay, in higher dimensions. Okay, and then these planes can be linear planes or non-linear, okay, surfaces. Okay, separating the different hyper surfaces, separating the different class samples. Each sample, say if I have say 1000-dimensional features, then what each feature has x1 to x 1000 features for a sample. We are looking the samples in 1000-dimensional space, and the classifier finally is trying to put, okay, if we see the input samples, with respect to input samples, it is trying to separate the input samples in 1000-dimensional space. Okay, however, if a neural network learns in the final if the final features are say if there is a neural network with hidden neuron, a hidden layer connected to the output layer. Okay, the pre-final layer, fine, has 10 neurons. Then the features, how many dimensional for the classifier? For the loss where we are putting the output neurons with putting the different classification labels, okay, and trying to back propagate. So the feature space length features will be 10 cross 1. And from there we try to put the separating lines. Hope you got the point. Okay, so what neural network essentially does is it tries to give different hyperplanes or hypersurfaces to separate different class samples. This is what exactly is being done even by a linear classifier. If it is a linear classifier, it just puts linear, okay, planes. Hope this is clear. Any question around? As you can see here, all cars are here. Okay, and then if you want this classifier does is, this score is positive for the car class. Okay, if the car lies in this region, and score will be negative or like less than, we can consider less than 0 for car class. Similarly, score will be this is aeroplane class. This side score is positive. This side score can be negative, or score is above a threshold. Okay, the way in which we train decides that whether it is positive or above threshold and so on. Similarly, for deer class, it is like this. Okay, so each class is being separated in different regions in that feature space. That's what we assume. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay, so any questions? So now the input image is this much dimension. So what is the feature space we are trying to look at? Where we are trying to separate the samples? Dimension of feature space. What is the dimension of feature space here when the input, say input pixels are this much and we consider pixels itself as features?
3072 cross 1.
Right. Yeah. Oh, fine. See, there may be several challenges to the classifiers, say especially linear classifiers. So when the linear classifiers fails, can you give a single phrase answer? When do you think linear classifier fails? A quick answer is welcome.
When data points are not linearly separable.
That's all. When the data points are not linearly separable. Okay. So these are all the cases. A different way scenarios where they may be, they are not linearly separable. Okay, you can see now in different viewpoints. This visual viewpoint, okay, where you can see the samples. In fact, the weights itself you can show as image. Oh, you can consider it as, so in some of the research papers, they used to learn the ghost faces. Okay, for especially principal component analysis based face recognition. Okay, try to learn eigen faces as a representative of the face class, and they also call it as ghost face. In fact, neural networks also learns, okay, ghost images corresponding to each class. Fine, if based on the architecture, if we consider appropriately, and then geometrically what it does is this. Okay, so based on this course we can tell. So I will skip here some of the other aspects. We'll discuss them a little later. So essentially we the length weights are what we have seen, but how do we get the length weights? So how do we get the length weights in neural networks? What is the process? Yeah, am I audible?
Now you are.
Now I'm back, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So if it is not consistently audible, please let me know. So hope so far you were able to hear and follow. Correct? Previous. Yes or no? Given the
Sir,
network.
Last 30 seconds were a little not audible. Sir.
Yeah. So let me do one thing. Make Suravardhan as co-host. So please mute if somebody is. Yeah, please mute. There is someone who is talking. Right. Okay. So let's resume back to the discussion that we had on backpropagation. So in the last sentences, I was telling about the length weights is what we have seen. Okay, so how do they look in terms of the visually? How do we interpret them in terms of correlation? How do we see them in geometrically in the feature space or image space?
Network.
Yeah, again interrupted, right?
Yeah, network issues there, sir. I hope.
Yeah, right. So let us see a little bit time. If we consistently have this, then I will try to send in a recorded lecture or will continue. So hope now you are clear, right? So you're able to hear again?
Yeah, now it is fine, sir.
Right, I'm just stopping my video. So hope you people are able to hear now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's audible.
Yes. Okay, good. So let's now resume back the discussion that we had on the training of neural networks and vector matrix finding derivatives with vector formulation and then train the neural network with backpropagation. So just to quickly recall the things, I will keep asking a couple of questions. So be ready to answer them. So assume that we have, say, we will start with a singular neural network itself to make our discussion direct and simple. But I will not derive anything here. I assume that you have seen in the last class how to find out different derivatives, vector to vector derivative. Oh, you're not able to see the screen? Hello?